What's up everybody and welcome to the ThiEYE. Is it ThiEYE? ThiEYE? I'm not sure. Either way, welcome to the unboxing of the ThiEYE i60e.
So the i60e is a GoPro-esque action camera. It has a wide field of view of 170 degrees. It records at 4K 30 FPS, 2.7K 30 FPS, 1080p at 60 or 30, and 720p at 120 or 60. It also takes photos at 12 megapixels, 8 megapixels, and 5 megapixels. The housing is waterproof up to 40 meters. It also has a built-in 2-inch LCD screen, which is a nice touch. And storage-wise, it can handle micro SD cards up to 128 gigs.
Now, I don't know about you, but I am a huge fan of matte black boxes. I love the look with this kind of embossed silver logo on. That's tasty, I like that. And there we have the camera itself. And what do we have here? A little box of accessories. So let's get inside here and see what we have. One ThiEYE battery, 10,050 milliamp hours. A mount, this looks like a swivel mount. Oh, it is, yeah, it's cool. So there's a screw at the bottom there so you can rotate the top. That's a nice idea. I also like that it comes with a vibration mount built in. That's quite nifty. Feels a little firm though. Pretty standard micro USB cable and shamelessly copying GoPro's mounting system, but hey, it works. Oh, okay, so we have one mount, which is flat, 2 extra sticky pads, no curved mount, bit of a shame, but it certainly looks to me like this is all interchangeable with GoPro stuff. And if that's the case, then you can just use your existing GoPro bits and pieces. Let's have a look at this bad boy then. So let's pop it out of the housing and see what we have. Ah, dude, it's tiny. I love the black and orange. That's a nice touch with this kind of serrated edge on here. Yeah. Oh, that's so satisfying. So, in the hand, it's extremely light and a bit, you know. So, there's a little battery cover there. So let's throw the battery in and have a look. It lives. We got a little jingle.
This is a GoPro. You're all familiar with it, you know the image quality that it can produce, you're familiar with the field of view, and you know that it's the flagship device for action cameras right now. If you were to pick yourself up a Hero 4 Silver right now, brand new, it would cost you about £260, obviously less secondhand. But I want you to completely forget that it exists. The ThiEYE i60e is a surprisingly feature-rich camera. I love the fact that it can take slow motion video, it can take regular high resolution video, it can take pictures. The menu is easy enough to use. You can just scroll through with the menu button up and down on the side and then select with the button on the top. It's not complicated, it's very, very simple. The screen is clear enough, it gets the job done. It's not touchscreen that we're accustomed to, but it's not exactly a big deal. One of the better things about this camera is the Wi-Fi. You can download the ThiEYE app for Android or iOS, and it allows you to control the camera. You can see through the camera to set up your shots properly. You can take pictures, record video. You can view them back. You can even download them to your phone so you can watch them back later while not connected to the camera at all. You can change all the video and photo settings from your phone remotely, which is pretty awesome. And just like the menu system on the camera, it's really not hard to figure out. So if you can get over the fact that I look amazing in my HRD one piece, showing my mother the benefits of this camera, you can see that the video quality is actually really not bad. Colours are pretty accurate, it deals with the lights in the background just fine, but the software does have its quirks. As you can see here, I'm downloading more than I'm able to, but it was simple enough. So this is my everyday recording setup. This is an X-Source case mounted to my Shoei QWEST. And I'm sure it's no accident, but the ThiEYE i60e shares almost the exact same dimensions as my GoPro Hero 4 Silver. So I'm able to put it into the case with no problems at all. Obviously the HDMI and USB imports and buttons and stuff don't line up, but it made recording this review 10 times easier than it could have been. So if we check out some more sample footage, the first thing I notice here is actually how impressed I am with the anti-vibration mount. It's not bad, it's done a pretty good job. And overall, if you consider the fact that this isn't a GoPro. The video quality is surprisingly good. It's a little noisy, don't get me wrong, and the field of view is not quite as wide as a GoPro with super view. It's slightly more narrow, and if I compare the two directly side by side, you can quite clearly see that you can see more of the bike on the left hand side of the screen. Whenever I look down, you can also see my hands, which is something that you can't on the right hand side, but super view is quite an expensive thing to introduce to a camera. Overall, one of the things that impressed me the most about the ThiEYE i60 was its ability to switch between light and dark. And if I switch now to some more footage, you can see here just how good it is at swapping between near focus and distant focus and light and dark.
And if you join me now while I suspiciously follow a badger down a dark alleyway, you can see that the low light performance is pretty good. Actually, a lot better than I was expecting it to be. There is some noise in the kind of almost pitch black areas, but you can expect that. You can also see some halos on the headlights of these cars as they come up the hill. But overall, again, I'm really impressed. I really am. There's not a lot I can say that's bad about this. Sure, there's a little bit of noise, a bit grainy here and there, but otherwise, it looks really good. However, it's not exactly all singing and all dancing as well. Just have a quick listen to this audio quality.
This is what the audio on the ThiEYE i60 sounds like from about a foot away, talking normally.
I think you'll agree with me that the audio quality there was pretty gnarly. It wasn't great. It records in mono, really not good. But I bet a few of you have been wondering, you know what, this guy's been saying that the video quality is really kinda good, but I thought it was actually a little bit meh. And the reason for that is, and this is quite frankly hilarious, this camera costs £45. 45 quid. And you get a camera that can shoot in 4K 30 FPS, it's got built-in Wi-Fi, a built-in 2-inch screen. It's baffling. The GoPro, like I was saying before, costs like 250 quid. This is 45. For people who don't want to spend high-end money or simply can't afford to spend high-end money, this is a pretty damn fantastic alternative. So quickly, I just want to go over some of the pros and cons of this camera just to outline what an amazing deal I think this actually is. So on the pro side, you get Wi-Fi, you get a screen, you get a 4K capable video. The battery life's actually pretty good. I've been using this camera continuously for about an hour and it's only gone down 1 bar. I'm sure the second bar is about to drop real soon, but that's pretty impressive nonetheless. It's compatible with all my existing GoPro mounts. Obviously the housing isn't, you'll have to get your own unless you have a skeleton case like my X-Source. It's pretty quick from low light to bright areas and vice versa. The menus are nice and easy to navigate, the app is easy to use, it's convenient. However, let's get on to the cons. So the camera feels cheap, because it is. It's also not that easy to see when it's recording. The only light that flashes on the thing is the blue light on the back. For instance, if the camera is facing you, you can't necessarily tell if it's recording or not. However, you could pair it with the app and do it that way, but it's a little bit more faff. The audio quality is absolutely terrible. As far as I can tell, it doesn't have support for external microphones. And lastly, the exposure settings that I had to play with didn't really seem to change all that much. They didn't make much of a difference that I could really notice. And if you wanted to use it for vlogging, for example, sure, it's not the best, because the audio quality is bad, but the video quality is fine. It's absolutely fine. Definitely good enough to get the job done, especially at an entry level. It's really quite shocking how good this camera is for £45. Now, this wasn't a sponsored video. ThiEYE didn't pay me to make this. However, there is an Amazon affiliate link in the description where you can pick this camera up for the introductory offer of 45 quid. And if you buy it via that link, I do get a small kickback. So if you do, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like. It helps me out a lot. Let me know in the comments what you think. And as always, I've been Smo. You guys have been awesome. Peace.